Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us for today's episode of Canal Days. As always, I am your host, Carrie, along with my co-host and founder of Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert Como. Our Canal Days series delves into the vast collection of historical sites throughout Massachusetts, with Robert's expertise of the local history as our personal guide. Each episode, we uncover history throughout local communities with historic houses, meaningful monuments, preeminent pivotal pioneers, and remarkable remaining remnants, all while uncovering their seminal significance. Today's episode of Canal Days, we will be talking about the Baptist Village Cemetery, located within East Longmeadow, Massachusetts. So, explain when the Baptist Village Cemetery started up and why.
It started in 1783, and it started because the Baptist village of Longmeadow, or East Longmeadow, had started up just to the south, and then needed a church and cemeteries near their houses, of course. And the Baptists were trying to escape from the dominant congregational religion of Springfield and Longmeadow area, and this had been done many times over in Hampshire and Hampden County. For instance, there was another Baptist village in Holyoke with the same name, and also a cemetery for themselves and a church. There was one on the Chicopee-Springfield border, and these were even older than the one in East Longmeadow. And that one started up its own cemetery, has been moved. Then there was one in Granby that started up, it had worship in a house, and started up a cemetery in Granby. And there's one in Belchertown. And there are several others around the counties. And so you have the same theme over and over again. They wanted their own community on their own, to worship on their own.
And clarify where the cemetery is located within East Longmeadow.
It's located in the southeast corner of Longmeadow, East Longmeadow itself. And remember that East Longmeadow broke off in 1893, and so this was far away from the center of Longmeadow when it broke off. And by being so far away, they could practice what they want. Nowadays, it's at the southeast corner of Hampden Road and Parker Street. And it's still there. It's been changed over drastically in a lot of ways, and that's important to know. And we're going to talk next about the layout of the cemetery and how it's changed in the modern era. So you can still see, though, where the old-time Baptists are buried.
And stick around, and we'll be right back after this quick announcement. Are you fascinated by local history and eager to explore the obscure treasures off the beaten path throughout the state of Massachusetts? Or maybe just seeking an unforgettable cultural activity for family and friends to enjoy? Look no further than Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, founded by Robert Como. With over a decade of experience, Robert offers captivating tours and presentations of historical sites and landmarks throughout the state. Whether you're interested in canals, cemeteries, charming churches, and more, Robert's tours provide a unique and enriching experience for all. And that's not it. You can also schedule private tours tailored to your interests, ensuring a personalized adventure and unforgettable memories. Perfect for families or groups of all sizes, making for an exciting hands-on learning experience that brings history to life. Simply visit holyokecanaltour.org or email bobcat4214 @yahoo.com to book your private tour today. Getting back to our podcast, can you describe the layout of the cemetery?
Yes. In this cemetery, if you go to the far northwestern corner, you have the very old burials are clustered around there. And very soon thereafter, the modern burials start. So there might be about 100 burials from the first century of the cemetery, 100 burials from the second cemetery and 100 burials from the second half century, and then after that the modern portion starts. Now, there are a few footstones around, but they're not treated as footstones. They are so big that when people, the superintendent of the cemetery in particular, saw this one, they probably left it in place thinking it was headstone was that big. And there's a lot of cool burial stones. John Sweetland is one of the major burials. There's a really cool burial stone of two children that died young, Israel and Polly Sweetland. And there is an old wrought iron fence around the old part only. And then a really cool older one is where the center piece used to have a piece of glass over the top, and underneath was gold foil over the top of a tombstone. That one's still in place, and I think that's one of the cooler ones. It says father and mother on the top of it.
And can you paint a picture for us of the modern section of the cemetery?
Yes, so they've really modernized it, and they have a beautiful outdoor chapel, and you can go in there and say your final prayers to the dead one. They've changed the cemetery from being a Baptist to being all denominations, Protestants and Catholics, and so it's really filled up with a lot of modern burials because there's not very much cemetery space in East Longmeadow. And they've also added a memorial section for veterans with a nice little bench and a flagpole. They've added a modern sign, and they've also added an old-time sign that looks like a gravestone in and of itself. The modern section has a different kind of fence around it, or no fence at all in portions, and then the sweep of the road around is quite different from the old part. So they've changed to look like a modern one, but you can still get a sense of what that old portion must have looked like, 240 years ago when it was started out. And you get a good sense of what a Baptist cemetery might look like also. Very close to congregational in look. But someone has moved the footstones and headstones and the arrangement around somewhat. There's no pre-1775 burials where the arrangement of the body was reversed from the present day. So I can't show you that one in the cemetery. But I hope to have a tour there someday. So watch out for that.
And thank you for listening to our Canal Days episode of the Baptist Village Cemetery and joining us on our journey through the rich history of the Connecticut River Valley. We hope you enjoyed uncovering some of the hidden and overlooked marvels and their fascinating stories that shaped our past in the state of Massachusetts. A special thanks to Robert Comu, founder of the Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, for sharing his passion and expertise with us. Remember, you can find more information about Robert's tours, book private tours, and explore the Canal Days video and podcast series at holyokecanaltour.org. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, comment, and share. We'd love to hear your suggestions for future episodes. Don't forget to keep exploring and discovering history that is hidden in plain sight all around us. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to tune in and log on to holyokecanaltour.org